Hey guys, Peyton Snaback here again for another DVD and Blu-ray update for you guys this week. It's been about 2 weeks since my last one. Got a couple things to talk about. I got 13 movies here. I got 5 DVDs and 8 Blu-rays. As usual, I'm going to talk about the Blu-rays first and then on to the DVDs. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So the first one here I got, this is a burn-on-demand one that I got a couple months ago. Well, the first 3 here, these were ones I unboxed, and they were burn-on-demand. This first one right here is, the movie Swindle here on Blu-ray. I remember reviewing this to you guys a couple years ago when it aired on TV. And honestly, I thought this one was probably like one of the greatest Nickelodeon TV movies that there were. So I'm so happy that this was on Blu-ray. And I know it was based off off a book. I forgot what the writer, the guy who did the book, his name was. I think it was Stuart Gordon, if not mistaken. But I don't know. I absolutely love this movie. But this movie is basically about this one kid who ends up finding this baseball card in this wall, and the one friend is like, "Well, maybe you should. Why don't you just sell it or something? It could be worth a lot of money. I mean, that's an old card right there, And so they end up doing that. They end up, taking it to this pawn shop, giving it to this one guy, who kind of sort of looks like Rowan Atkinson. It's not Rowan Atkinson though, but it's they give him the card and he's like, I'll give you like a couple hundred for it, and then but that ends up being a mistake. So when they go home, and of course he's on the news talking about how they discovered that the guy they sold it to, the guy at the pawn shop, he's telling the news people how he found it, and that it's actually worth like $50 million or something. And they discover, oh fuck, they just got ripped off. So they're basically trying to go back into the pawn shop and try to steal the card. And they're trying to con him, get him back and get the card back, con him back. And, Miranda, or not Miranda, Jeanette McCurdy's in this movie, Ariana Grande's in this movie, the kid who plays Gibby's in there, Noah Monk, great cast right here. Ciara Bravo's in here from Big Time Rush, I don't know, I actually did like this movie, such a great one right here, and it is, in case you guys are wondering, it is actually black on the back, because like I said, this is a burn-on-demand, so it was actually cool that they were able to get a couple of Nickelodeon releases out on Blu-ray like this. But yep, that is Swindle here on Blu-ray. Now the next one here, now these next 2 are from the Warner Archive collection. Like I said, these were ones I did unbox for you guys. But these Warner Archive ones I am going to get rid of. I don't know, I couldn't really get into them. But they were decent. They weren't just ones I would want to watch again, But the one I got is The Mystery of the Wax Museum here on Blu-ray. This is actually the original House of Wax. But this movie is about this guy who has this wax museum, and he has all these wax figures, and the one guy ends up like beating him up and like setting the wax museum up on fire one day, and it takes place like years later after that event. He's like trying to redo his wax museum again, trying to redo his wax figures again. But what he's doing now is basically he's like at night he's like sneaking into the to the morgue, and he's like stealing all these dead bodies and making like wax out of them. And the police are, and people in the town are trying to figure out like what is going on exactly, because like all these bodies are disappearing. I mean, and right away what's going on, but the cops are trying to figure out like what's going on, like why are all these bodies all of a sudden disappearing, and who's like stealing them and all that. Like I said, I thought this movie was decent, but it's not like my favorite one. I don't know. I thought this one was okay. But I will be putting this one in my yard sale. Same thing with this next one right here. The other House of Wax movie, House of Wax, the 1953 movie. I will be putting this one in my yard sale. For some reason, I still have feelings for the remake a little bit better. The one with Paris Hilton. I don't know. I kind of like that one a little bit better. I've always liked that one. I remember seeing that one in theaters as a kid. But I know they released this one on Blu-ray in 2012, but I think that went out of print. That certain edition went out of print. But the thing is, um, oh, and this right here, it's not press disc, or it's press disc. By the way, in case you guys were wondering, I think this is actually the same disc as as the other edition was. I just think that Warner Archive has the rights to this one now. I know, and it's still the same thing. It was released in like a Blu-ray 3D. This one was kind of like the same thing as the other movie, as the Mystery of the Wax Museum. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't really get into this one either, probably because it's an old movie from before my time. But and, I love movies that are way before my time. I mean, I liked Psycho. I liked Night of the Living Dead, Wizard of Oz, King Kong, the old school one. I liked all that stuff. I even liked Little Shop of Horrors and the what was that one that Dick Miller did? I just reviewed it a couple months ago. The Bucket of Blood. I loved those movies. But I don't know. I just couldn't really get into these ones. But this one right here, in case you guys are wondering, this also has the Mystery of the Wax Museum movie on here as well. But yep, that is that. Now the next one here I got. This is one I saw in theaters. I actually really like this one. I'm not really a big X-Men movie. Like I'm a big fan of SpiderMan. I'm a big fan of I was a fan of the Joker movie that came out. I was actually a fan of this one too, because and like I said, I'm not a big X-Men fan, but I just like the whole vibe of this movie, with the setting and everything. This is called The New Mutants here on Blu-ray. Two reasons why I wanted to see this. One, because Anya Taylor-Joy's in this movie, and I've always liked her, from The Witch, Split, Glass, Thoroughbreds. But the movie is basically about this girl. She wakes up in this weird kind of facility. It's kind of like a mental asylum, but it's like her and these other four people that are in there, and the only person that's working there is this one doctor, this weird kind of doctor, and all these people are in there because they have all these superpowers that they can't help, and it's them trying to figure out what their powers are and what their weaknesses is, and all the stuff, the reasons why they're there. But I don't know. I actually really did like this one. I know when this first came out, a couple months ago, I did hear a lot of stuff about it. That this movie was supposed to come out back in 2017, and then I think there was problems with it, and then of course it was supposed to come out back in March or something, but of course COVID took over, and of course now it was able to come out. But I don't know. I actually did like this one a lot, even though it is kind of like a superhero Marvel movie, which I'm not really a huge fan of. I still really did enjoy it. I like the whole setting of it, probably because I like movies that takes place in mental asylums. But I don't know, really cool movie here. But on here though, you get you get some deleted scenes, which I heard the deleted scenes are good. I just haven't watched them yet. You get a making of and the theatrical trailer and some commentaries and stuff. But yeah, but that is that. That is the New Mutants here on Blu-ray. Okay, the next one here I got. Now I have seen this before, but I've been kind of thinking about getting this on Blu-ray. But I did get it eventually. But it was the ABCs of Death 2 here on a Blu-ray. And I have to admit, I really loved the first one. I mean, there was some pretty funny, cool stories in that one. I remember that one had this. And what I do like too is some of the stories on here are actually animated. There was one story in the first one about this girl. Her poop was trying to kill her. There was one where this boy was afraid to use the toilet. The toilet was like a monster. But the stories in this one, I mean, I don't know. It's not really perfect or anything, but I still kind of like it. But this one, if you haven't seen these ones, they're basically anthology movies, but each story has it's like a scary story from the alphabet. Like it'll do like a scary story for like A is for apple, so it'll do like a scary story for an apple. B is for banana, so it will do a scary story for a banana. So that's pretty much what it is. They're just like 5-minute like stories, but you know, I mean, they're fun, worth watching. Like, you know, anthology movies. But I remember watching. I reviewed it to you guys a couple years ago, and I don't even know when it's supposed to come out. But I was able to watch it on a website a couple years ago. But they did a third movie. It was called The ABCs of Death 2.5, and that one, from what I remember, was okay. It was like doing like it had 26 letters, but it was only doing one letter for all 26 of them, from what I remember. But I remember that one being decent. But yep, that is the ABCs of Death 2 here on Blu-ray. Next one here, I just got them finishing this set just a couple minutes ago. And you know me, I love my crime shows. I love this show. You know, I've been watching this show since it came. Well, not since it came on TV. I think I've been watching it since like 2007. I want to say. This is, of course, you know, CSI Crime Scene Investigation, the complete 9th season here on Blu-ray. If you guys have not seen this, you know, it's a show it's like a crime show. It's like about like these detectives, like they're like, you know, trying to figure out who murdered who. It's like a whodunit like thing. Sort of like, you know, like the investigation discovery like show, but, you know, except it's not like a documentary. It's like a true crime like show. You know, you get 24 episodes on here. It has a 6-disc set. Hey, what was really neat about this set, there was an episode on here that, you know, Taylor Swift was in one of the episodes. She was like playing like a victim, and she was young back then. This season came out in like 2008 to 2009. So I don't know how old she was when she did that episode. Probably want to say like in her probably at least like 17 or 18. I don't know, but she was young in it. You know, this season, of course, this is the season where, you know, the one character died. You know, Warwick. You know, and Grissom. You know, William Peterson. Like, he's in the first 8 episodes, but then he gets a new job. Georgia Fox is in a couple episodes because I think in a season I don't have, like, I guess she quit the show or something. I can't really remember, but you know, I really like the show. You know, it's a shame that this is all we got on Blu-ray in the U.S. as of right now. This season 1, and then that one I just reviewed about a month ago, the Grave Danger one. And hopefully, maybe at some point, maybe we'll get more like seasons like this on Blu-ray. I don't know, but it's just a shame that we don't have that much. We don't even have any of the CSI Miami's on Blu-ray, or the NYs, or the Cyber one, which I don't think Cyber did all that good. Yeah, but I absolutely like this show. If you guys want to know what was curious what it looked like inside, like, these are all the Blu-rays right here. 4 episodes on each disc. It's a 6-disc set. But great release right here. The next one here I got, this is a Dollar Tree one I just got recently. And I was in the mood to watch it when I got home, so from the Dollar Tree video thing I did. But this is, you know, SpiderMan, the first SpiderMan, the original SpiderMan. Of course, this is like a great, like, action movie. And, you know, everyone knows what this is. You know, Spider-Man, you know, about, you know, Peter Parker, played by, what's his name again? Tobey Maguire, who, you know, his school is on this field trip to this, like, science lab, gets bitten by a spider, and, you know, from that's how he becomes Spider-Man. Of course, you know, and he has, there's a girl that he loves, Mary Jane, who's played by Kirsten Dunst. You know, he has to deal with a bully named Flash, and, you know, James Franco's his friend. You know, but this is him, like, trying to, like, defeat the, what's his name exactly? Like the Green Mosquito or something. I forgot what it's called. But he's trying to defeat this guy right here. I forgot the whole name of it. But you know, great movie right here. I've always liked this one. I remember the sequel to this being okay. I did really like the third one though. Loved the third one. I pretty much liked, you know, all 3 of the Spider-Man movies. I even liked, you know, the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. The second the sequel to that one I did not really care for, and those ones with Tom Holland, I don't know, I didn't really get into those ones. I tried to get into the first one, I just couldn't get into it, and I never even seen the second one. So, and I know the second one was on the Black Friday deal, but I just didn't get it because I knew if I didn't like the first one, I knew I wasn't going to like that one. So, I mean, but yeah, but that is Spider-Man here on Blu-ray. And the last one on Blu-ray, this is one I got at a Dollar Tree months and months ago, and I just finally watched it. And the only reason I wanted to see this one, because Blumhouse, and of course Sarah Bulger's in this movie, which I know her from the Spiderwick Chronicles. This is a movie called The Lazarus Effect here on Blu-ray. This movie, it's sort of like a Frankenstein-like movie. That's what it is basically. But basically, it's about Sarah Bulger. She's she just got hired there, and group and these other like doctors, they're like this one person's like trying to invent this thing where they can make things come back to life. Like they tried to do it on a dead dog, and it doesn't work exactly. And the one person gets electrocuted, and the guy gets upset about it. I think it was like his the guy's wife in the movie, and he ends up trying to bring her back to life. And they're like, well, we can't try it on humans. We don't know if it'll work. And of course, that works. She comes back to life, but she's acting a little bit, different. And, I have to say, too, I mean, I thought this was worth watching, but it's not my, favorite Blumhouse movie. I mean, it was a decent kind of like one-time watch right here, but, just not my favorite one, But yep, that is the Lazarus Effect here on Blu-ray. Okay, now on to the DVDs. So the first one here I got, this is one I've unboxed for you guys. Well, all these ones you've seen in my videos, like I have a couple Dollar Tree DVDs, one I just got on Black Friday, and one I unboxed for you guys. I got Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 here on Blu-ray, or DVD, I'm sorry. But, this is one of those ones, I watched this 3 times already, and it's just I know I hear nothing but kind of like decent things about this one, but it's just one of those ones I just cannot really get into. I'm sorry, but I just can't really get into it, probably because it's not really the same thing as like the Jamie Lee Curtis one. But for some reason, I kind of liked, 3 and 4 a little bit better than this. But I will still keep this one, because I do have the other ones now on DVD. I know this came out from, what's it called, Echo Bridge, but it was in like bad quality. This was in like decent quality right here. But it was like about this girl named Mary Lou who went to prom and she died. And like 30 years later, this new girl goes to the same school. And the thing is, it's not really like a direct sequel to the first movie, but they say that the only thing that's like kind of like in a sort of way is a sequel because it's the same school name as in the first movie, Hamilton High School. But of course, the new girl, she gets, possessed by Mary Lou, and of course, she's killing people off one by one. But yep, that is Prom Night 2 here on DVD. Alright, so this next one right here. Don't ask. I remember watching this as a kid, and I remember kind of really liking it. And I have not seen this movie in like years. I kind of wanted to revisit it. It was something I got at the mall on a Friday, and I don't know. I remember really liking this one when I was a kid. I kind of wanted to give it a rewatch. But there's some cool things about it. But I swear to you, this is the only one I'm getting. This is all I'm getting. This doesn't mean I'm gonna get like a series of it on Blu-ray or DVD or anything. But as Barney's Great Adventure, the movie here on DVD. I thought, and I heard something about, my friend was telling me that this went out of print or something. I don't know if that was true or what, but according to this, I mean, it was brand new, factory sealed. Because it didn't say it was used or anything. I mean, because it would tell me if it was used, but I only got it for $5. the movie, this has Trevor Morgan in it, which, he did the movie Jurassic Park 3, which everyone hates, but I've always kind of liked it. He did The Glass House, Sixth Sense, and there's actually a bonus feature on here where I think it was like, I think it came out on TV like before the movie came out. It was called Barney's First Adventure. It was like a half-hour TV special. Had to do with like this little girl who didn't want to go to school. Well, I mean, she wanted to go to school, but she was like afraid to go to because she didn't know like what it was like and stuff. And Melissa Gilbert's in that special. That was kind of cool seeing her in that special. But the movie is basically about these two kids, well, three kids, actually, the two girls and, Trevor Morgan's character. They're going to visit their grandparents' house. And, of course, the one girl has the Barney doll, and, of course, Barney comes to life. But one night, this big egg is, like, goes into this barn. And, like, the egg is, like, changing colors. And, they go to this person who's like a bird expert, because they kind of want to know what it is exactly, because they know it's not, because they live in a farm like setting, but of course they have like chickens, but they know like the size of it is, they know, well, a chicken, there's no way in hell a chicken could have made that, so it's them trying to figure out what it is exactly, and of course they find out it's like some sort of like dream catcher thing or something, but then they lose the egg. And it's them on this, like, big adventure trying to get this egg back. Yeah, and you know what, rewatching this movie, I feel like a little kid again. I mean, I know I feel kind of weird having this in my collection, but you know what? Don't hate, appreciate. It was great, rewatching this one again after so many years. And I kind of figured that hopefully maybe one day, because this is from Universal, so Universal put this one out, so I'm kind of like hoping maybe like Universal Studios or something, like the Burn on Demand Universal, will put this one out on Blu-ray. I can picture them doing that, trying to clean it up a little bit, having the same features on there. Hopefully maybe one day they'll do that. But that is that. Now these last three right here were from the Dollar Trees. And all three of these ones I'm getting rid of. The first one is The Jungle here on DVD. And I kind of like how it's in like a green case right here. This movie right here is a found footage movie. It was about, it was kind of like the Blair Witch Project in a sort of a way. The movie was basically like about, these people trying to find this leopard, this like a rare kind of like leopard in the jungle, but they're having no luck finding it. They're like camping in the woods all night, in the jungle all night, trying to capture this thing. And I thought it was decent. I mean, it's not like my favorite one, but this is one I will be selling. And the next one here is Red Summer here on DVD. Now this movie right here, this is basically about a group of these friends who go on this vacation, or like they're like enjoying like the weekend or something, and they're going to the beaches and stuff. But of course their vacation is going to hell basically, because they go to town, or they go to this like weird little like section. They discover this guy wearing this like pig mask, and he's like going after them, trying to kill them. I don't know. I thought this one was okay as well. I'm going to be getting rid of this one. And the last one here I got. Now, this movie is probably by far the weirdest movie I've seen. This is called Mr. Frog here on DVD. Now, this is one of those ones where I was trying to figure out if it was like another, like a foreign movie. But it was in English, but I couldn't really tell if it was like a movie from another country or anything. It was too hard to tell by the way they were talking, by the way their mouths were moving. Because, like, there's been movies like this, like kid movies like this, that were like from like in other countries, like that Help, I Shrunk My Teacher thing. You could tell that like something like that. You could tell that was from another country, because like the way their mouths were moving and stuff, and they weren't actually like saying the English words. You could tell it was all dubbed. This one, you couldn't really tell. I mean, it looked like they were speaking English, but I mean, I couldn't really tell if it was like if it was for real, you know, like if they were really speaking the language or if it was just dubbed. But the movie is basically about this girl. She's obsessed with like collecting like frogs, and her teacher one day is acting really strange, and it turns out, like, you find out what's going on right away. And basically it's him. He turns into a frog every day. He turns into a frog, and the only way to cure that is if he eats all these flies. And of course, like he said, like, it runs in the family. Like, it happened to his mother, it happened to his father, his like siblings, his aunt, and stuff. It goes through his family a lot. This movie was weird. Probably, like I said, one of the most strangest fucking movies I've ever seen. But you know me, I love strange movies. Yeah, but not really like my favorite weird movie to watch. But I think it was worth watching if you like weird stuff like this. But yeah, but that is that here on DVD. And that is all of the movies I have to read for you guys this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays to you. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.